Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. This is your favorite monk, Chandra, and today we have a tarot card reading for Kelly. Kelly would just like to kind of know the status of the situation with her guy, so we are going to do a reading on that. Alright, so wow, so this is interesting. So we've got well, for one, we've got the Chariot card here. You guys can see this or not. Okay, now this Chariot card in this position is, well, if you look at this card here, just to kind of give you kind of an understanding of it better, you see a very strong person. You know, you see a strong figure. This person's able to go out in the world and to triumph and to get what they want and to, you know, pretty much dictate what their future is going to be like. So it's a very empowering position, this particular card. It's also, if you look at it, this is in the Major Arcana, because it's a Major Arcana card and all, this is sort of more like to do with kind of like the overarching or the meta, the big picture. So if we were looking at this from kind of the metaphor of economics, this would be macroeconomics instead of microeconomics. In other words, this is the big picture that we're looking at here. So the Chariot right here, in this particular case and all, is showing us that Kelly in this situation is, you know, able to really get whatever she wants, you know, and that, you know, we have each one of these sphinxes, like we have the white sphinx, we have the black sphinx here. It's sort of this indication of yes or no. So oftentimes when this card comes up, it's sort of like, you know, either way you can go with whatever it is that you desire. You just have to kind of pick a side and kind of go with that. So this is a very good card and all, and this is one that within the relationship realm is really one of about choices, and it's about really having the say-so to be able to decide and to really choose whichever way you want to go with the relationship. So the next card that we have is, this is the Five of Cups. Now, relationships are all about emotion. They're all about, well, when we see the Cups cards, here's that Five of Cups, by the way. When we see the Five of Cups here, you know, five's about change, and so sometimes when there's change going on, it can be, you know, turbulent times ahead. Well, this can be like ups and downs as far, like with this particular case, what I'm picking up is it's really about the emotional ups and downs of a relationship. You have some cups down, you have some cups up. The five there is really the indication of change, and of course we have the cups, which are the emotional side of things. We have the river in the backdrop and stuff that has a steady current that's going. We also have a bridge that allows us to cross over that if we so choose. And if we choose to go over that, and all we notice that on the other side of that river there is, you know, besides just an embankment, there's actually a place to reside or a place to visit or something else over there. It's almost like this thing, the grass is greener on the other side, possibly or not. But it's really up to us to decide, and that takes us back to that first card that we had, which was the Chariot, which really gives us the option of being able to choose what it is we're actually desiring. Now, the next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles. And when we think of Pentacles, we typically tend to think about the financial side of things, money, materialization, but it's also about firm footing. It's also about like groundedness. So when you're looking at this particular card, let me show you it. You have to think on some level kind of more about this idea of constancy, or setting yourself up for success as far as making sure that the relationship is on a good footing, on solid ground. With this particular card, like within the realm of the Pentacles, we have three. So oftentimes, it's about this card here. Often, when it's done in a reading, is more about showing people kind of like what we're all about. Being able to take the best of what we are and showing it to others. This card here, you see a tradesman. He's got a hammer or an anvil or something in his hand. He's on a workbench. He's a worker guy. He's got the work apron and everything on and whatnot. And you can see his handicraft. You can see his craftsmanship in the backdrop. He's got those pinnacles up there. And what we're often seeing with pinnacles is this idea of work. So in relationships, yeah, there is work involved in that. But in order to create things, in order to make things, in order to better our situation financially and materially, oftentimes there's that component of work. That there's thought, there's emotion, there's action, there's all those things that go into success and into material abundance. But at the end of the day, even if you don't have a lot, even if you can't really think too much about things, even if you don't want to have too much emotional involvement in the type of work that you do, even if you're not really, you know, emotionally involved with it, or even thinking about it, or wanting something that you have to think about, or even really the whole creative action thing, if it comes down to it, sometimes people can get paid, or they can find some kind of a money scheme or something like that in order to make things. And it's just the only thing that's really necessary is just, doing the work itself, the work side of things. And that's what this person is really showing off. He's able to show off how he's able to create wealth by, creating value in the life of other people. And so this is really a value-laden card. And that's what the Pentacles are really all about. But with this particular one, the 3, he's showing off his tradesmanship to these other 2 individuals. These are people probably from the aristocracy, people that maybe don't have a lot of hands-on experience, and he's just showing, hey, there's a certain freedom that comes with being able to master a trade, or being able to master, doing what we're doing here. And that puts us in a power of position. And you notice that being on the workbench, he's kind of above, and that's sort of like a metaphor there of saying that we're kind of above the situation, or above the thinking. So when it comes down to the overall theme and stuff, Kelly, as far as this relationship and everything goes at all, it's really all in your hands, and it's really all about the choice that the choices that you make with the relationship and everything. So with regard to everything, this is showing that there's a lot of options out here for you, that when it comes to just the being able to pick up the pieces and move on, or the stay in the relationship and make it more in alignment with the way that you would like it to be, those are all possibilities, and they're all at your disposal. So there's in some readings that I would do for someone, these type of cards probably wouldn't come up so much. I wouldn't really get a feeling or a sense that things are going to be maybe necessarily in that person's favor. But in this particular reading, I do pick that up, that things are really in your favor more so than his. So I hope that this helps you to some degree. Like, I guess kind of what I would really have you kind of take away from this reading, and also just what I'm picking up just psychically, is that everything about this relationship kind of rests in your hands at this point. It's all about your decisions, like what it is that you want to, create in this relationship. Like, and you're kind of like this creator, this, like we said with this here, this is kind of this symbology here, it's this creation, like you're able to create things, you're able to put things into a good way for yourself. You're able to make things, and that brings with it a sense of security. And that's a really nice thing about this relationship that you have, is that you have this sense of security, that sense of knowing that that you do have this component of control, or ability to create what you want in the relationship. Also, as far as getting what you want or having what you want, you know, whether it's this relationship or any other relationship, it's really, you know, like this is really putting things mostly back into your hands also. Like you have some things are up, some things are down. Well, no relationship is entirely perfect, you know, but there are choices, you know, like we can kind of stay in this same situation that we're in, or we can take the relationship in a different direction. And so if you want to take it in a different direction, you know, see the grass greener on the other side, doesn't mean that it won't be. Sometimes when people think, well, they always say the grass is greener on the other side, that the grass won't be necessarily greener. That's not altogether true. Sometimes it very well is greener on the other side. And then lastly, what we have is this Chariot, of course, we said, which was our first card. And this is just picking sides, you know, choosing what it is that you want. This is yes or no. Like, do I want this yes, or do I not want this no? And then you can pick that. And this is a card of really being in a position of power. This is also about like outward strength, you know, just showing that, hey, I can take care of things. I can do what I need to do in this relationship to make it work and to make it function. So yeah, so anyways, I hope that this helps you. If you have any questions or anything, or you want something kind of narrowed down or a little bit more specific and all about everything, you know, please reach out to me in that, you know. Sometimes it's like whatever the situation is that's going on within us that we're trying to get or make sense of, sometimes we just need a little bit of validation or confirmation about things. And that's what I'm really picking up here about this reading. So again, like if you do want anything as far as like specifics or something and you want to reach out to me, you know, privately about it or something like that, please do. You know, I'll be glad to help with that. And for all of you guys that are tuning in, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this reading. If you guys want a reading or anything, just check the description below this video. There'll be information down there. If you guys want to help support the channel, you can do that also. Just go to helpbydonating.com and you can donate and help out the channel. If you guys need a spiritual development or spiritual direction or anything on that end, I also do that. I'm a monk here, so please feel welcome to reach out for those, for that outreach as well. And anyways, I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. We're going to be moving into a new week. Today is Sunday. It's October the 10th, so we're at 10:10. We're still in Mercury retrograde, guys. So like when it comes to doing these readings, I just want you guys to know that a lot of the readings that I'm doing right now are going to be a little bit more generalized just until we hit that 18th mark, till we get past this Mercury retrograde, where communication and things will start to go back to normal a little bit. But if you're feeling like in your relationships, if you're feeling like in your everyday communications or your work that things right now are just not smooth per se, just keep in mind, just realize that a lot of that is because of Mercury retrograde. So whether you believe in it or not. So anyway, it's been fun doing this reading. I hope to do many more this week moving forward. But just keep in mind that we'll be doing a little bit more on the general side this week as we kind of move forward and progress throughout the week until we can kind of cross that hurdle and get back to things as normal. A Mercury retrograde tends to happen about 3 times a year. We just happen right now to be kind of in the middle of it. So anyways, hope everything is well with everyone. Anyone need anything, please reach out. All my information and everything is in the description below this video. Much love, many blessings. See you guys on the next episode.